What's up, gamers? This is YuBan with a Mechabellum replay commentary. With the upcoming patch update and the nerf to the Titan units, today we are going to highlight a game where both myself and our opponent leaned on the Titan units to try to close out the game. Sort of our way of celebrating the end of the Titan meta, aka Mechabellum. Our opponent is Sparty, 2200 MMR player, playing as Sabertooth spec and starting with 2 Sabertooth already, picking up the Hounds and going for a recommended formation of asymmetrical push. We chose our favorite starting spec, the quick supply spec. I was really hoping to play carry sledge. It would be nice to deploy 2 packs of sledgehammers on round 1. However, seeing opponents starting units, I know he's going to push us, and I know it's most likely asymmetrical. In this case, after playing around with what to deploy, we decided to go for a center formation of sledgehammers, allowing us to respond to both sides of push, so we don't have to play a guessing game from the first round. From there, we recruited one more extra pack of Void Eye and decided to float 100 supplies. We chose to go for the Void Eye because they are actually really good going into the Sabertooth. It provides 3 bodies for the Sabertooth to shoot at, and their combined damage in the backline can deal with the Hounds really easily by one-shotting them. And also, you can see here, with the tower debuff timing and these Void Eyes, it takes a long time for the Sabertooth to clear them, while the Void Eyes can just kind of sit back and shoot at them. Round 2 reinforcement. Improve Wasp is interesting. However, seeing that our opponent is pushing one side of our tower with 1 pack of sledgehammer, moving very slowly into the opposing tower, not doing too much to help with our defense, we decided to move this guy to the flank here. We deployed the crawler and the sledgehammers just far enough that the arrow for these hounds are pointing backwards, meaning it's going to pull this entire pack of hounds, hopefully, back into the crawlers and then eventually locking onto the tanky sledgehammers. Our goal here is to disable this one Sabertooth's chaff clear ability. Even though we only have 1 pack of crawler at this moment, just any kind of delay on these single target DPS units is going to be very beneficial. From here, with our 2 crawler deployments and picking up the item, we decided to put a sentry missile in the back. Our thought process here was the deployment module just dropped, and that is typically a incentive for players to play into the flank, because you can easily put down a flank attack or distraction like we're doing and then redeploy it back to your main army or redeploy it to another side of the flank. Good thing we went for the missile strike here, because our opponent had the same idea of using the flank to distract our board and to grab an early tower debuff. With these Phoenix warping in and our sentry missile hitting the edge of the warp in, we should be fairly safe. Yeah, we're safe from a early tower debuff, while our annoying sledgehammer and crawler packs in the back distracted, I would say, 2 packs of crawlers alongside with the 1 pack of hound, leaving this one Sabertooth here just high and dry, slowly taking out our 5 sledgehammer packs. With our successful defense of the deep flank and the distraction in the shallow flank, we're able to defend once again successfully. Round 3 unit reinforcement. Here we are not going to go for the Vulcan. Opponent is Sabertooth, and he's getting his power spike turn by getting a free Sabertooth on round 3. We thought about getting Tarantula because we don't have a clear defined chaff clear unit. We were thinking about maybe turning the Sledgehammers into Mech Rage kind of chaff clear units. However, with Raiden coming on the unit reinforcement, we're thinking maybe less of the Sledgehammers as well. In this case, we don't have a clear anti-air unit. Therefore, we decided to pick up the 4 packs of Marksmen. These guys, I really enjoy having 4 packs of deployment on the unit reinforcement, as it allows us to spread our board out, essentially helping us with defense, adding a little DPS, and just having more bodies on the board for Sabertooth to shoot at. We decided to concentrate the 3 marksmen on the left, while putting 1 on the outside flank here, anticipating opponent using the redeployment card to either redeploy the Phoenix over here for a quick entry, or maybe perhaps even jumping the Phoenix to another spot with another crawler in front. Seeing that our opponent is into this play, we decided to just not mess around. We don't want to play the guessing game. Let's just put 2 packs of Mustangs in the back vertically, so we are better off facing against the flank, while we decided to jump our Sledgehammer all the way to the back corner. The idea is the same. We pull the hounds into this pack of crawler, and once they get pulled, they're going to aggro and prioritize going into the corner, so further pulling these guys into the corner away from the main pushing army, allowing us to DPS away, chaff clear, and help the Sabertooth to be stuck on the chaff units a little bit longer. Here, opponent went for the quick little shift of Phoenix jump drive. Luckily, we have our Mustang shielding in front of our marksman. That's placed there for a reason. We didn't want the marksman to get prioritized targeted. So these Mustangs right now are kind of our form of chaff unit as well. Opponent also went for the range enhancement and going for a deep flank of hounds. I've talked about how much I like using the hounds for deep flank. It takes so much to deal with them, and they can clear chaff units so quickly. So essentially, guaranteeing you some sort of 1-to-1 trade of chaff and chaff clear unit. With our deep flank pulling all of our opponent's army, including the power spike of Raiden, into the back corner, and our successful defense of the Phoenix, we were able to once again take the round on round 3, taking our opponent down to 2200 HP. At this point, round 4 reinforcement, we want to get greedy. We are at full HP. Let's take a economic card in the form of efficient light manufacturing, allowing us to just mass deploy tons of medium-sized, small-sized units at a discount, hoping to overwhelm our opponent's chaff clear ability. From here, because we saw the Raiden all the way in the back corner here, we decided to just take our Sledgehammer back here, not wanting to put a pack of crawler in front of the hounds to just waste away. Let's put the Sledgehammers right in front, blocking the shots, allowing the Mustangs to slowly chip away at the crawlers and the hounds. And here it is. Round 4 oil. lining up to all 3 of these Sabertooth. The idea is obviously slow down their big tanky units, give us some time to chaff clear, and perhaps even take out the hounds in the process, if we can. Opponent went for more chaff units, lined up right behind the Sabertooth, abandoning the Phoenix Dream, and put the deployment module on the Raiden to move it back a little bit more, anticipating the sledgehammers in the back. Now, we have 4 marksmen, well 3 marksmen in the main fight, while our opponent's unit drop from round 2 or round 3 is stuck in all the way in the back. Hopefully this will give us an advantage. Opponent recognizing that this is a tempo game. He is falling behind in tempo and he needs levels on the hounds, and he needs levels on the Sabertooth for them to be tanky. He decided to go for 2 very nice sentry missiles. These missiles are going to take out all of our sledgehammers alongside with some void eyes, significantly reducing our defensive power. Let's see if the oil can do enough to hold our opponent back from the juicy missiles. At this point, we were not too disappointed that we got missiled out, because we noticed that our opponent is spending a lot of resources protecting this tower, leveling it up, multiple missiles every round, and 2 more missiles here, while we have the economic advantage. So with this small loss, we were still feeling pretty good, because it'll take another turn or 2 before our efficient light manufacturing card to kick in and start to give us a huge advantage. Round 5 reinforcement. I didn't want to take any big spells yet, as we are still fairly healthy. We want to prioritize our economy. Instead, we went for the cheap spell Missile Strike, looking to once again reduce our opponent's chaff clear ability by targeting this pack of hounds and trying to slow down this Sabertooth. From here, we're just kind of waiting, just seeing what our opponent does, trying to see if we can bait out some kind of tech or some kind of units before we commit to anything serious. In the meantime, thinking that this is a very juicy missile strike target, opponent could potentially take out all the void eyes and damaging and killing the marksman in the process. We decided to put 1 shield down here. Opponent went for a right side missile, and we went for 1 more pack of Mustang. With our efficient light manufacturing, we are left with 500 supplies. At this point, I wasn't sure what to do. I thought, you know, if opponent goes heavier into the Raidens, the marksmen are going to be pretty good. And if opponent sells out of the Raiden and goes heavy into the Sabertooth, the marksmen are still going to be pretty good. Initially, I was contemplating between going for a carry Void Eye build or going into the marksman. I thought, if opponent goes for Raiden, it would counter our sledgehammers really hard, and it would also directly counter the Void Eye. And that's why we decided to go for the marksman. Recognizing we are out of his flank, opponent went for the sprinkler tech, not wanting his board to get set on fire, and moved the level 2 Raiden all the way to the front. Our original sentry missile here was to target this pack of hounds. Luckily, it retargeted and hit the Raiden, significantly slowing down its movement speed, allowing us to delay this power debuff on the right side. As you can see, the Raiden is going to easily clean up everything we have. With this tower debuff coming up, and our units struggling to clear chaff. This seems to be a thing here. we are going to narrowly lose this round once again. Opponent strikes back 2 rounds in a row with a nice sentry missile play and then with a nice redeployment play. Looking at these unit reinforcements, I could not pick Rhino because opponent's Sabertooth with double shot would just delete them. We could potentially go for the Arclight. I honestly don't know why I didn't look at this. I think partially is because Arclights are a little slow at clearing chaff when the opponent is just in your face with multiple streams of crawlers. And we thought opponent only has 1 pack of Raiden for anti-air. Why don't we pick up the Wasp? These can help us defend the backline flank. And instead of having a ground chaff clear unit that can be killed by the Hounds and the Sabertooth, let's get the Hound's arch nemesis, the Wraith. I find when Hounds get to level 2, even level 3, the Arclights get stuck shooting at them for a long time. Instead, in this case, we went for the backline Wraith, immediately getting range enhancement, going to buff up our chaff clear ability. We decided to move this pack of sledgehammers to here to help us defend any potential corner push from our opponent, and went for the Wasp in the back for a more solid and quicker defense. Luckily, we did put some units here on the right side because our opponent went for double tech, launcher overload, high explosive, level 1 war factory in the corner. And this is very scary as we are teched into double shot marksman, which don't do a lot. And the war factory with a Farseer in the back is going to easily tank all of our Wraith's damage, and then the Farseer will just easily shoot down our level 1 Wraith here. Luckily, we do have a stream of chaff units coming in. Can we make it before debuff? Doesn't seem like it. However, this debuff timing doesn't seem to be all that horrible, as we were already able to clear up 2 packs of the Sabertooth, with most of our Wasp still alive. We might even have a chance of taking down this level 1 War Factory. Let's see. Doesn't seem like we have enough DPS, especially with the tower debuff. And that is okay. We're okay taking 750 damage as we still have a lot of HP. Round 7 reinforcement. We got nuke, we got mobile battleship, we got Rhino Assault, and a nice item. In this case, we decided to go for the Rhino Assault. We thought about getting the nuke because we are late in the game, and if we were to lose one round really big, we could lose the entire game. However, I thought our left side here was already winning the fight pretty easily before the tower debuff, and I wouldn't want to spend a nuke here just for one war factory and inside of a bubble. So we decided to go for a cheaper spell, the Rhino Assault, recognizing that back here could still be a point of entry for our opponent. Let's see what our opponent decides to pick up. At this point, we're thinking very hard about what do we do against this war factory. Our opponent already went into HE. Perhaps we can go for a level 2 war factory of our own and just click launcher overload and range, just so we can essentially have more DPS against this guy. However, seeing our opponent's war factory leveling up to level 2 already, we decided to go for the Abyss, thinking that let's not go for a risky headbutt War Factory play, because if he gets more levels than we do, we're guaranteed to lose. Instead, let's go for something in the air that he cannot shoot at. Let's distract the Farseer with these guys back here. We place the Abyss on the right side of the tower, thinking that we want an early target with these 2 missiles. Hoping that we can lock on and stall this level 2 War Factory for long enough to shoot it down. Opponent went for the correct target, like the best target of nuke. Let's see if we can take out most of his army before the nuke gets dropped down. As you can see here, oh, perfect timing. Right when all the chaff units were killed, and we're just about to target our opponent's, oh, look at this, back-to-back tower debuff. Can we even take out this level 2 War Factory after we got it down to so low in HP? Please, Bear-like. Take it down, please! Oh my goodness, look at this. War Factory with a fraction of his HP left. We need to take it down, come on. Come on, Wasp. Please tell me. Oh my goodness, look at this. Thank goodness we cleared up enough of the units on the left side here to not die due to that War Factory staying alive. Here I made a mistake by picking the additional deployment card when I should be focusing my money on building more Abyss or elite recruiting it. We did not go for the fire because our opponent already has the fire extinguisher tech, and I wanted my oil to stay on the ground. I don't want it to get lit on fire. I want to slow down this War Factory for as long as I can, so this level 1 Abyss can do some work. From here, recognizing fire is going to be the death of us, we shielded our Mustangs and chaff units all right here. Hopefully this is going to block out all of the fire. From here, I was a little tilted because of how close we came to killing that War Factory. So I thought, if we were that close to killing 1 War Factory with 1 Abyss, perhaps we just need 1 more Abyss here to add some additional damage. And with the oil, hopefully we can successfully take out this War Factory and allow the rest of our army to clean up the Farseers and the Sabertooth. Opponent went for a nice missile here, attacking the Wasp and the Mustangs. Let's see if they can walk out of the missile's harm's way. Seems like a few of them stayed alive, but honestly, that doesn't really matter. Because the problem of Mechabellum is that as soon as a Titan comes on board, it no longer is about anything else on the board. As you can see that if the Titan unit can stay alive, whoever's Titan unit can stay alive, they win. In this case, everything we started doing was to gear up towards killing our opponent's level 2 War Factory. All of our nice plays and positioning in the beginning of the game no longer mattered. At this point, going to round 9, we finally strike back, taking our opponent down to 601 HP. And a photon emission comes out. This is a fantastic spell for the War Factory pusher, as they don't have to click the tech, and they can just get extra damage debuff or damage reduction in the process. From here, I was starting to think maybe our level 1 Abyss here is too weak. Maybe we need a level 2. So perhaps we can sell out of this guy, elite recruit a level 2, and just redeploy it. Here, another mistake I made was not anticipating a side switch. Our opponent rightfully made the right decision on switching sides because there's an oil in his face. He wouldn't want his War Factory to be stuck in oil and get shot at by the abyss again. What I should have done was maybe level up this tower a little bit more, maybe placing this one abyss more in the center here to anticipate a potential side switch. Let's see if our opponent's last minute clever decision of switching his powerhouse Farseer and level 2 War Factory can work out in his favor. Look at these level 2 sledgehammers tanking for the Rhino, pulling all the chaff units. Very nice. Left side, we have a steady stream of chaff units coming in, preventing a tower debuff up until now. However, this tower debuff timing may have came in a little too late, as we have our swarm of air units ignoring the oil, pushing to the right. All we need now is a nice tower debuff to help us take out these fast-moving Farseers. And our opponent is going to be stuck with no air units, no anti-air in the process. Here, I was very glad that we decided to go for the Abyss counter instead of a counter War Factory. Our decision allowed us to narrowly win this game in the end. In summary, we started the game in a very traditional defensive posture with our sledgehammers, Void Eye, chaff units, Mustangs, and marksmen against our opponent's Sabertooth Hound push. As we were starting to do pretty well in the defense, opponent decided to drop a level 1 double tech War Factory on round 6. This shifted the momentum entirely in his favor, granting him multiple round wins in a row, almost taking us down in the process. In response, we toyed with the idea between a counter War Factory or just going for something the War Factory cannot shoot at, the Abyss. In the end, the Abyss decision seemed to be the correct one, as even with us not anticipating a side switch, our Abyss was able to stay alive while clearing out our opponent's only 2 anti-air unit, the Farseers. If you stay till the end of the game, we play the last round from our opponent's perspective to see if there's a chance for him to win the game or win the round. Okay, last try. We've lost like 4 or 5 times already. Let's see. Improve fire. Anti-air. Lone, level 2. The problem is anti-air and chaff clear. Do we go something like this? Have this guy stay back for chaff clear. This guy here moving forward for a early tower debuff. And something like defending in the back. Don't want this to go forward too fast. And then we go for... We just still have... we only have 2 anti-air. That's the issue here. Okay, let's try this. Tower debuff. allowing us to kill the level 1. Now this War Factory, during the tower debuff, clears all the crawlers, allowing our Farseers to stay back and actually shoot at air units. Oh my goodness, can we win this game with two War Factories? This is truly Titambellum. Look at this. The answer to turning a game around is to just play more Titan units. This concludes our gameplay as from our opponent's perspective and concludes today's replay commentary. Overall, I'm going to miss playing the Titans so freely. I really enjoyed the current meta of having to respond and anticipate a sudden Titan drop. However, I also recognize that there are a lot of problems with being able to play like this, making the first 5-6 rounds essentially meaningless once the Titan drops. I am looking forward to the new patch release. I hope you guys enjoyed today's replay commentary. Until next time.